Bandwidth for this podcast is brought to you by CacheFly at CACHEFLY.com.
Welcome to yet another edition of Macbreak Studio. We're back in the studio with Mark Spencer, and Mark's here to tell us about the new credit tools because we want to give credit where credit is due.
Very cute.
All right.
I noticed, like, you're always in a new shirt, like every time I come back here, and I'm always in the same shirt. What's going on with that?
Actually, it's the same shirt. His whole entire wardrobe is just all black t-shirts.
It's all I got.
Yeah, exactly.
So credit, yeah. So what everybody's got to do when they're making a film, a short film, whatever, you've got to have credits. And I've seen some short films like on YouTube where the credits last longer than the movie, like by far.
That's all their friends and family.
Right,
they got.
Right. You got to get them in there.
They got the movie, yeah.
So here's the cool thing: is Motion has made this much easier. Because if anybody knows who's tried to do this, you do it in Final Cut. There's some tools.
Or if you try to do it in a lifetime, oh my gosh, it's painful.
Right.
Yeah,
so now Motion has made this easier. And check this out. Here I am. I'm not even in Motion. I'm sitting here in TextEdit. I just have a little RTF file. So that's the key because we are going to import, rich text format. So if you have a text document that you can save, so you work in your favorite text editor. You style the text the way you want. So here we've got some custom columns set up where we have some words in there centered, and we've got this left and right justifying. We've got a certain font. Some of it's bold. So it's all been styled in a text editor, which is where you want to do this, right?
In the rich text format.
RTF, rich text format.
Not the poor text format. Sorry.
Okay, so you save that.
Right.
Great. Okay, so I'm going to go over to Motion now. Here I am in Motion. I'm in the file browser. There is my RTF file, okay? I'm just going to click import.
And it centers it.
And bang.
Boom.
There it is. No problem, in there, perfect, okay? So, and retains all of its formatting. And if you wanted to make a change, if you double click on this, you can go in and change anything that you want to. So it's still editable in Motion, which is beautiful.
Well, it's cutting off the bottom. How do I get to the...
Well, there's a little scroll here where you can scroll through the text.
How nice.
And just work on it any way you want. Now, let me tell you that sometimes when you bring it in, it may not be exactly the same as what you brought it in. It kind of depends on the size of your original document. So we'll get there in a minute. Because there's an easy way to kind of tweak it if you weren't happy with it. One way you saw when I double clicked on the text is that there's you can have tabs up here and you can move these and
so you can actually drag those arrows apart and it changes the gutter width?
You can change the gutter width.
By the way, that center column is called a gutter, for those of you who don't know.
I guess that takes somebody whose mind is in the gutter.
It does. It's guttery.
Right. So now I want it to move. So that's great. I can import my RTF file. It comes with all the text in place. If I go under the Add Behavior button up here and go to Text Animation, I have a scroll text behavior.
That's great.
So I'll just select that. The text jumps to the bottom, and I hit play, and I have scrolling text.
That's easy.
So that's the fast and dirty. Now you may have noticed when I applied it, look, we've got a little bit of an issue here in terms of a little bit of formatting, and that's because my original size wasn't the perfect dimension that it should be. So if I just go to the inspector for the text and go to the format, there is in the layout pane here, there's a little right margin here, and if I just drag in here, I can just shift that back over.
You're in the hot scrubber right now.
Yeah, I'm just in the hot scrubber, dragging that field, and I can just recenter that, no problem. And then I can take the whole thing, and if I want to drag the whole thing and recenter it. So it's very, very easy to tweak that way. So quick and easy to bring in your text and create an animated text. You might say, well, what about the speed, Mark? I mean, come on, because that's the big deal, right? Especially if it's going to be seen on a TV. But who goes to watch TV anymore, right? So it's all going to be on the web.
Right.
But if you do, and you've got to worry about interlace flicker and stuff, guess what? Right in this little heads-up display, you've got some speed control options. So first of all, there's this direction. So rather than vertical, you could have a horizontal, so more of a crawl along the bottom.
I see that.
So if I play that.
Bloomberg.
Yeah, a little Bloomberg thing right there. You just click that pop-up menu and it switches just like that. I'll go back to the vertical. The speed control can be automatic, and you can kind of do a multiple on that. Or you can set a fixed speed rate. And anybody who has their technical chops down knows that for interlaced video, you want to have your scroll rate be an even multiple of your frame rate. Right. So you could set this to, for instance, for 2997, you want like a 60 or 120, 60 a little too slow, like 120 pixels per second. So you can actually set a specific pixels per second scroll rate to avoid any kind of line crawl or twittering that you might see where the text kind of flickers a little bit. Especially this particular font is not a good font for scrolling text. Serifs. Yeah, exactly. So this got that kind of problem, but you can deal with that. And if you're back in the automatic mode, there's this reduce flicker option, and you can choose whether you're working with progressive or interlaced material.
That's really handy.
And it'll do its best job. So very easy to do, and even once you've got that scroll selected, and if you want to make a change, if I double click on this guy to select it, check this out over here on the right-hand side. Now that scrolling text behavior is applied, we can see a little kind of a thumbnail.
It looks like an audio waveform.
It looks like a waveform on that's stacked on top, right?
But they're just little text lines.
It's little text lines, but you can tell about where you are, where you're looking. So it's kind of like in Soundtrack Pro, that universal view or whatever you call it along the top. Mm-hmm. So I can say, I need to go down here, and it turns out I spelled Bill Willen's name wrong, and I can just go in there and give him a different name, change his name to whatever it should be there, and fix that. So real easy to go in and edit it. The last thing I'll show you here is that you can combine this text credit roll with other graphics and have them move.
Like when you watch the movies, do you see the little Panavision logo at the bottom?
Or the SDDS thing or whatever.
Or the Apple logo.
Exactly. So here we just have, I just have this little graphic here of these guys kind of flying. So what I'm going to do, all you do, instead of having the scroll text behavior on the text, I'm just going to drag it onto the group containing the text and the video. And now when I start to play, they'll both move at the same time. Now what I will want to do is move that video down so it'll start at the right point in time. So here this comes up. Let me just move forward a little bit in time, and everything will scroll together. There's the video right there. So let me just back up.
Could you have that video off to the side?
Yeah, it can be anywhere you want. So if I select it, I just wanted to move it after putting the behavior on. I can move it off to the side or over top.
So like you can put the outtakes on the side.
Yeah, you got little outtakes running.
That's really great.
And it'll move. So here, I've got it there. So now if I play, in this case, the video's up top while it's playing, and you see it first.
And you can have multiple layers of video playing it.
Absolutely, as many different elements in here as you want. So as the credits are rolling, you can have little videos playing on the sides or little graphics or anything, just by applying the scroll text to the group.
I don't know, that's a pretty neat little feature.
Really useful. Yeah, it's something people don't think much about. You get to the end of your show and you're like, I'll just knock the credits out, and you end up spending hours and hours.
That's right.
But this
because everyone knows the credits are the most watched thing in your movie.
Well, the most watched by the people who made the movie. So it's important, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching our Mark's cool credit tool demo. If you want to get more Mark Spencer information on motion and all things motion, visit rippletraining.com. He's got a lot of great tutorials up there. And again, we want to thank you for watching Macbreak Studio.